What's the difference between a plain old bad film and a so bad it's good film? Also known as Z-movies, so bad it's good films are films that are so lamentable, so poorly made, and so nuanceless that they amass a cult following due to the sheer hilarity caused by their deficiencies. What separates them from being just another forgettable dumpster fire has been up for debate for a while. After doing some research, the reason for it that I've been able to gather is that they lack self-awareness. Their creators are making them with such sincerity and seriousness, yet it is painfully obvious from a glance that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. Good examples of this include Plan 9 from Outer Space, Fateful Findings, and Cool Cat Saves the Kids. However, one of the most well-known and notable films of this kind is, of course, Tommy Wiseau's The Room. The Room is a 2003 masterpiece of cinema. Okay, seriously now. This film has been called the Citizen Kane of so bad it's good films. Created by the nationally ambiguous Tommy Wiseau, it is an indie drama film starring Wiseau and his friend Greg Sestero in the lead roles. With a budget of $6 million, it really bombed at the box office, making a pitiful $1,900 back. Despite this, it gained a cult following due to midnight screenings of the film, as well as gaining traction online through scathing reviews, which is where I discovered it. The film begins with a studio logo that looks like it belongs in its tribute game by Newgrounds, no offense to Newgrounds. We are then treated to a credit sequence, with some B-roll that I can only assume is San Francisco, as that's where the film is set, in the background. Maybe this is just because I know the film so well, and have done for many years, but the music seems familiar and nostalgic to me every time I hear it. Next is one of the cringiest opening lines I've ever heard.
Hi, babe.
It really sets the audience up for the tone of the film well. This is our protagonist, Tommy Wiseau, aka his self-insert Johnny, who has just returned home in order to give his spawn of Satan fiancée Lisa a nice new dress. This kid, Danny, arrives and compliments Lisa on her dress before her and Johnny decide to go and take a nap upstairs. Just as soon as Danny arrives, I get that he was kind of uninvited, but it is a bit rude to do that to a guest, don't you think? Johnny and Lisa start pillow fighting, I guess, and then Danny jumps on the bed to join them.
I just like to watch you guys.
Okay, forget what I said about being rude earlier, this kid needs to go. The couple then continue pillow fighting, and it fades to the evening? I understand that lighting helps set the mood and all, but couldn't they have just set the scene in the early evening from the beginning? Because it makes you wonder what they were doing during all that time in between. More pillow fighting and getting weird comments from intruding kids, I suppose. The scene is just very weird, and plenty of other channels have complained about it, so I don't feel the need to criticize it in detail. The music is just very cheesy and makes it 1,000 times more unbearable in my opinion. Johnny leaves for work the next morning, and Lisa gets a visit from her mother, and she confesses that she no longer loves Johnny.
He's so boring.
Bit weird, mate. You didn't seem to find him boring 18 hours ago. Her mother scolds her because Johnny is financially stable and loves her, which Lisa states is why she finds him boring. Right, because women don't find financially stable, well put together and loyal men attractive at all.
Nobody else listens to me.
You're probably right about that, Mom.
Was that meant as a jab? This is one of many scenes that is just Control-C and V'd throughout the film with slightly different phrased dialogue or settings. Lisa then calls up Mark, who is played by Greg Sestero, calling him babe. She also insults her mother and is very pushy and insistent about wanting to talk with him. He doesn't seem to find any of this behaviour strange in the slightest, and even arranges to meet with her, but he isn't shown to be the smartest character, so I'll give him that.
I can't wait till later. I want to talk right now. You owe me one anyway.
Okay, alright, what do you want to talk about?
They meet up at noon, and she tries this weird seduction technique.
I like you very much. Lover boy.
Ugh, the dialogue is just so unfortunate throughout the film, and this scene just makes me want to crawl into a sleeping bag and zip myself up, never to see the outside world again. While at first he is reluctant, Mark decides to be a scumbag and betrays Johnny. I'm not even going to dignify the next scene with a proper reaction, but all you need to know is they're on a staircase and the cheesy music is back. Afterwards, Mark gives us this amazingly emotionally intelligent response.
Why did you do this to me?
Which is completely illogical, as it takes two to tango. You had freedom of choice here, so you're to blame as well. And of course Lisa doesn't even properly acknowledge that she is partially responsible for destroying Johnny's trust in the event that he finds out like the Machiavellian psychopath she is. Johnny is seen buying flowers in this infamously horribly acted scene, where Johnny is shown to be this well-liked character.
Hi, Doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Apparently this line was improvised too. This ship writes itself. Lisa is then seen ordering a pizza before Denny visits looking for Johnny.
Can I kiss you?
You are such a little brat.
Just kidding. I love you and Johnny.
You know, I don't even know what to say to that, considering he is at least implied to be a sympathetic character later on, because I really can't tell. Is Denny supposed to be likeable in these scenes? Johnny then comes home and complains about being mistreated at work.
They didn't keep their promise. They tricked me and I don't care anymore.
Lisa then has the audacity to ask Johnny what's wrong immediately after he explains, and then pressures him into drinking alcohol even when he makes it clear that he doesn't want to. They both get drunk and we are treated to yet another scene with cheesy music in the background. I thought this was supposed to be a tragic dialogue and character-based drama, not a prequel to 50 Shades of Grey. We get another scene with Lisa and her mother the next day, and they have the same conversation, except it's revealed that Lisa is planning a party, and Lisa's mother is suffering from cancer, which is never brought up again and is completely inconsequential to the story, and Lisa falsely accuses Johnny of hitting her the previous night. Unsurprisingly, Lisa's mother responds completely inappropriately to this information under the assumption that it's true.
Johnny is your financial security. You can't afford to ignore this.
These two clowns then enter Johnny and Lisa's house and engage in... Yeah, you can probably guess. My god, it's been less than 3 minutes since the last one of these scenes. Can we just chillax for a second? Lisa and her mother then enter the room, and Lisa's mother puts my reaction towards this scene pretty eloquently.
Hello? What are these characters doing here?
Lisa then reveals to her mother through some exposition that Denny is an orphan who Johnny sees as a sort of surrogate son, and completely contradicts her earlier statements about Johnny.
I told you, Mom, Johnny is very caring about the people in his life.
I can't tell if this is meant to show Lisa as manipulative, or if the continuity is really that bad. Denny is met on the roof by Chris R., a drug dealer who physically assaults him and threatens him with a gun for not having his money.
Where's my money, Denny? Did you use my money?
All jokes aside, this guy is probably the most convincing actor in the film. He is carted away by Johnny and Mark, and this is yet another plotline that is completely insignificant. Lisa calls Mark again, and the following morning, we are greeted with this.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Truly staggering stuff. After Lisa has a conversation with Michelle, Johnny confronts Lisa about her lies in one of the most unintentionally funny scenes put to screen.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
Apparently it was supposed to be a tribute to this scene in Rebel Without a Cause.
You're tearing me apart.
But I'm sure the scene speaks for itself as to whether it's a good tribute or not. Johnny then asks his oh-so-conveniently psychologist friend, Peter, about what to do.
Chicken, Peter, you just a little chicken. Chip, 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 chip.
Really insightful stuff, really. Peter then confronts Mark on the roof, and due to Mark being under the influence of drugs, he attempts to throw Peter off the roof, even though the drug he takes is a relaxant. A lot of the scenes after this are just more pointless repeats and insignificant scenes to pad out runtime, and the next significant part of the story is Johnny's birthday party. After a nice loading screen, Mark and Lisa decide to stay back and canoodle on the couch as if no one could walk in at any minute. Oh wait, it's the stand-in for Peter's actor because the original actor found a better job. Why didn't they just reshoot the scenes with Peter in them? I know that time and money are factors, but surely making the best product possible is the priority. Lisa announces that she is pregnant, but reveals to Peter and Michelle that it was a lie.
There is no baby.
What?
This is just getting absurd now. His character is so one-dimensional and just evil for being the sake of evil. Later on during the party, Lisa slaps Mark, leading to 2 fights between Mark and Johnny. After the second fight, Johnny returns to his room in a heartbroken rage and everybody leaves.
It's not over. Everybody betrayed me. I'm fed up with this world.
Johnny had been recording Lisa and Mark's phone calls earlier in the film and starts playing them in front of Lisa, exposing her infidelity right in front of her so she couldn't deny it. Lisa then leaves Johnny, and he destroys his house in a rage before going up to his room and shooting himself. There's this really bizarre scene with Johnny tearing the dress from the beginning into shreds, and the gun sound effect is pretty fake sounding. The sweet sense of release. Finally, this confusing nightmare is over. There are so many things wrong with this film, I don't even know where to begin. I think it would have been better if they just removed the repeating scenes, and the actors and the directors were far more experienced. The dialogue is so nonsensical and unbelievable, I think someone else should have written the screenplay from Wiseau's original story. That would have been the only way to save it. One thing to note is, Wiseau's first language is clearly not English. I know he has stated in the past that he is American, but he has quite an obvious European accent, and he has stated he's from Europe now. He has been very secretive about his early life, so there has been a lot of speculation as to where he is originally from. In 2013, Greg Sestero and Tom Bizel wrote The Disaster Artist, a semi-autobiographical book detailing the production of The Room. In 2017, James Franco created a film adaptation of the book. However, I have neither seen nor read either version. Aside from The Room, Wiseau has worked on the 2015 sitcom The Neighbours, the thriller Best Friends, and is claimed to be working on a vampire film in an interview with the Portland Mercury. However, I must crown him as my favourite incarnation of the clown prince of crime.
Hi, this is Tommy Wiseau, creator of The Room. Let me introduce you to the new Joker. Ah!
So what do you think of The Room? Does it deserve all the attention it gets, negative or otherwise? Feel free to comment your thoughts down below. And as always, thanks for watching.